There's a gap, and if you make music, you've likely felt it. It's the gap between the song that you hear in your head and the one that actually comes out. Nobody talks about this gap. They talk about plugins, shortcuts, AI tools, mastering chains. But nobody talks about the moment you sit in front of your DAW, hands on your head, and think, why can I not just make the thing I can clearly hear in my head? I actually thought I had cracked it at one point. I thought I was good enough to start working with artists and start making songs for people. So I swallowed my pride and I went out and I got into the DMs of some Instagram creators, and that alone was hard. I was shy, I was introverted, overthinking every message, but people replied. Some of them said yes, and I wasn't doing it for the money just yet. This was purely a test, just to see if I was up to this, if I could do it. And then one guy hit me up, country artist. He says, "Yo, can you do a full song for me?" I remember feeling like super excited, like this is it, like this is my in. So I said yes, of course I can. He sent me over a raw vocal and I started working. Slowly, it started to hit me. I had no idea what I was doing. I could hear it so clearly in my head, what I wanted to do, but I had no clue how to actually bring it from my head into the music and bring it alive. So days turn into weeks, weeks turn into months. He starts messaging me back and says like, "Hey dude, like what's going on? How are you getting on with the project?" Me sitting there still having made no progress. I made the decision to lie to him and I said, "Yeah man, like it's coming along great. I'm working on it, making progress." Eventually I kept trying, kept failing, kept feeling embarrassed, and one day I just stopped replying. It plays over in my mind because I realized something painful. It's not that I lacked drive. It's not that I didn't want it enough, and it's not that I lacked motivation or passion for making music. It was actually that I just lacked the ability, the translation ability to get what was in my head out into the actual music. And if you have ever opened a DAW, you have felt the same. This gap, and what I'm going to teach you in this video, is the gap between intermediate level producers / musicians and professional industry level producers and music makers. I didn't learn piano to be a pianist. I learned it because my hands were stupid. I could hear things clearly in my head how I wanted them, but my body just had no idea like how to respond. A mouse and a grid only let you arrange ideas. Having an instrument in front of you allows you to respond, to create tension and release naturally. When you're clicking notes into a DAW, you're thinking about where things should go. But when you're playing, you're thinking about how it feels. And that reaction matters because it's not logical, it's physical. When you play, you respond, and that back and forth is what trains the bridge between what's in your head and like how to get it into music. Now, it's not to say that I'm good at piano, because I'm not. All I was doing was just playing the white keys. But having access to an instrument and having learned just enough to where I can just play very simple chords up and down in scales, it allows me to add life and movement to my songs. And that's when translation starts working. Now, people say remake songs, and they say it like it's a hack, but it's not. It's actually a practice of forced listening. When you casually listen to music, you feel it. But when you start remaking music, you start to see it, and you start to see the patterns and understand how things are created. When you remake a song, something really specific happens in your brain. Your brain starts building a bridge between what you hear and what your hands can physically do. There's actually a real system in your brain that links sound to movement. And every time you try to recreate a sound, that link gets stronger. It's very similar to something like aim training in an FPS game. You develop the muscle memory to click the opponent's head every time because you have practiced thousands of times, and each time your brain has fine-tuned itself to be more and more and more accurate. That's why it feels hard at first. Your brain is stretching a muscle it's never used properly before. And the most important part, you don't get better by getting it right. You get better by being wrong. That gap between what you thought it was and what it actually was, that's where your brain rewires itself. That's why remaking songs is so powerful. You're not copying, you're training translation. Steal like an artist. Now this one gets a really bad reputation. People think that referencing music and using music as inspiration kills originality, but it doesn't. It just removes the pressure and it gives you momentum. Most of the time, I don't sit down and try to be original. I'll load up a song I love and I'll literally just copy it. Not the vibe, not inspired by, but literally copy it. And that's the important part. I don't run from copying. I walk straight into it because that's where translation gets trained. But then something interesting happens. I hit a wall and I can't copy it exactly correctly. I can't get it right. But instead of fighting that, I just let it happen. I let my ear pull me in the direction that it wants to pull me. And that direction, that's me. That's my sound. That's where originality comes from. You don't get it by avoiding influence. You become original by physically moving through it. The brain can't physically copy something. Your hands won't choose the same notes. Your instincts won't pick the same timing. Reference tracks are not cheating. They're just training wheels. They are compasses there to give you a direction, but they don't drive the car. This is Cade from the future jumping in here. I just want to clarify a little bit more what I meant by this section. When you hear a song that you really enjoy, steal an element from it and see how you can change it to fit exactly how you feel while still keeping it the same vibe. For example, if I hear a lithe song that I really enjoy, I'm gonna steal the chord progression, and so now I can take that chord progression, I can write my own melody over it, I can do my own drums under it, and it will still feel like the lithe song, but it's now been filtered through my personal perspective. So in short, originality and creative works are not truly original. They are just endless rearrangements of the same ideas filtered through unique personal experiences and lenses. So steal like an artist. Okay, back to the video. Now this is the one that almost destroyed my relationship completely with music because I didn't realize there were two versions of me. There's me when I'm flowing and me when I'm judging. When you create, you think in feelings. When you analyze, you think in structure. You cannot do both at the same time. When you try, you suffocate the idea. That late night magic you feel, like when you're making a beat at like 2 a.m. and it sounds absolutely amazing. That's the real truth of your song. That's the version with all the soul, the emotional one. Then in the morning, your technical brain wakes up and you listen to it again and you start stripping it. Too messy, too raw, too imperfect. But those imperfections, that was the soul. Every cut and strip you make, you are removing exactly what makes the art. By removing the imperfections in the sound, you are removing yourself from the art. This changed everything for me because I stopped trying to make emotion perfect. Emotion isn't perfect. It's supposed to be honest. Now I separate my sessions. One where I just create and I just get it all out, like a brain dump or like a therapy session. And then once I have the idea created and the general idea, then I can go in and I can start mixing and I can start cutting down and I can start forming it into a cohesive piece of artwork, but one that still carries the same emotional weight and doesn't take away from what was there originally. This is where I want to slow everything down. How do we go about doing this? What do I need to do? Tell me what I need to do. This is it. This is the translation loop. It takes 10 minutes. All you need to do is open up your DAW, close your eyes, and think of a song that you love. And then don't think of the whole song, but just think of one element. And think to yourself, is it soft? Is it hard hitting? Is it warm? Is it cold? Is it close? Is it far? You're not trying to be right. You're just trying to like wake up your imagination. You're trying to get your ears into a space where you can analytically listen and break down what you are hearing. Then you set a 10-minute timer and you try to rebuild it. Not perfectly, but honestly. And when the timer ends, you just A/B it with the actual reference. And don't hate yourself. Don't spiral, because you're gonna get it wrong. But that's it. That's the whole loop. Just do that once a day, twice a day, every day. And within a couple months, you're gonna look back and you're gonna be like, wow, look how far I've actually come. Look how much better I now sound. It's like going to the gym. It's gonna be hard, but if you are consistent and you stick with it, in a couple months, in a couple years, your life is going to be completely changed for the better. So if you've ever sat in front of your computer and felt, why can't I do this? Why does everyone else make it look just so easy? Why doesn't my music sound like what I hear in my brain? Why can I not just take it and put it down? You are not broken. Your imagination works. Your hands and your translation ability just haven't caught up yet. And the good thing about that is it's something that can be learned and it's something that can be trained. And so you don't hate your music. You just hate that gap. And that gap, it's not talent, it's not genetics, it's not some secret sauce, it's a muscle. And muscles respond to reps. You don't need to be gifted, you don't need to be special. You just need to train in translation. And one day, without noticing, you'll just all of a sudden be doing this so naturally and fluidly. But it all just takes time.